3 real glitch in the Matrix stories that will ruin your sleep. Ever felt like reality just skipped a beat? That weird flicker, so odd you had to ask yourself, what even is real anymore? For some people, it's not just a weird thought. It's terrifyingly real. The ground under them, their own memories, even time itself can get twisted up, leaving them totally lost. Tonight, we're not just wondering what if. We're looking at real glitches in the Matrix. Moments when it feels like the rules of reality just broke. Section 1. Introduction to the concept and stories. You know, places like Reddit, especially the r/glitch in the Matrix subreddit, are like modern-day campfires for these kinds of stories. People share these incredibly personal, often freaky experiences. They really try to keep it to true stories, stuff that eyewitnesses swear happened, things that just don't make sense. Now, it's easy to be skeptical, right? But when you see how many stories there are, and how much people believe them, it makes you wonder. These aren't just ghost stories, they're pieces of someone's actual life, moments when the impossible seemed to happen. So tonight, we've got 3 stories like that for you. 3 tales from these forums that really make you think, maybe reality isn't as solid as we think it is. Get ready, because these stories about life's strange resets, weird loops, and messed up memories, they might just keep you up tonight. Section 2, Story 1, The Shower Slip and the Instant Reset. Okay, our first one is from a Reddit user who went through something so weird, it was like their life just reset. Picture this. It's a normal evening, right? Their sister had just used the bathroom, left it a bit of a mess, you know how it is. Annoying, but whatever. So this person goes in for their shower. As they're finishing up, they notice something really important. That grippy mat, the one that stops you from slipping. It wasn't where it should be. The tub was super slick. They stepped out, and bam, disaster. Their foot just went. You know how time slows down in those moments? They said it was like that, everything stretching out. They saw the edge of the tub coming right at their neck. Their last thought, they said, was surprisingly calm. Wow, this is how I die. How stupid. Talk about a terrible way to go, right in your own bathroom. Then, impact. But instead of pain or darkness or whatever they expected, nothing, or well, something totally impossible. In what felt like an instant, they were waking up in their bed. Not like, oh, bad dream, but smooth. Like the fall and the whole shower thing had been some crystal clear warning. They didn't remember going back to sleep after getting up the first time. They said it felt way more real than any dream, even a lucid one. And it gets weirder. A friend had messaged them during this dream, or whatever it was, and then, in this new, awake reality, right after they found themselves in bed, the same friend messaged them again. The message? Super similar to the one from the fall scenario. This person was, understandably, completely freaked out. Were they dreaming, or did they actually die and somehow get reset? Or, even creepier, did they jump from a timeline where they died in the bathroom to this one where they were suddenly okay in bed? That feeling of having actually died and gotten a second chance, or being thrown into another reality, stuck with them. A really unsettling thought about what's real. Section 3, Story 2, The Dog That Kept Going Up the Stairs. Can you imagine how messed up that would be? To remember dying, but then you're fine, and the world's just carrying on like nothing happened. It'd make you question everything about how things are supposed to work. Our next story isn't quite as life and death, but it's just as baffling when it comes to reality going haywire. And this time, it's about a family dog. This one, also from r/glitch in the Matrix, is about someone watching their dog do something completely nuts. It started off totally normal. They saw their dog heading for the stairs, just trotting up like dogs do. No big deal. But then, when the dog got to the top, instead of going into a room or turning around, it just appeared back at the bottom of the stairs and started climbing again. At first, you'd think, am I seeing things? Maybe a trick of the light? Or you blinked and missed it come down some other way, right? Or maybe another pet confused you. But they kept watching. And the dog did it again. Climbed all the way up, got to the top, and then, like someone hit rewind and play, it was back at the bottom, starting the climb all over. A perfect, unexplainable loop. The person said they watched this happen over and over. Their, moment turning into total disbelief. It wasn't quick. It wasn't the dog just running up, then down, then up again. It was the exact same climb again and again, like the dog was stuck in its own little time loop. A tiny piece of reality repeating just for it, or maybe just for the person watching. They were sure about what they saw. It wasn't just them getting confused. It only lasted a few minutes, they said. Then, just like that, it stopped. The dog quit the repeat climbing, started acting normal, and everything snapped back. But for those few minutes, it was like the rules of physics and time just took a coffee break, at least for one confused dog and its very confused owner. There was no reason for it, no explanation. They were left feeling pretty uneasy, seriously questioning their own eyes and how stable reality actually is. How does something like that even happen? What's going on when your world starts repeating itself, even for a little while? Seriously, what would you do if you saw something like that? A real-life loop happening right in front of you? It's the kind of thing that would make you second-guess everything. Before we get to our last, and maybe creepiest story, I'm curious. Which one so far has weirded you out the most? Drop a comment and let me know. And hey, if these stories are making you look at the world a little differently, do me a favor and hit that like button. It really helps us find more of these strange happenings. Alright, so our third story isn't about resets or loops. This one's about something even sneakier. When your own memories feel wrong. Or maybe memories from a life you never actually lived. Section 5, Story 3, The Previous Universe. Memory. This kind of story pops up a lot in these glitch discussions. It's a bit like what people call the Mandela effect. It's about someone who has these super vivid, detailed, and emotional memories about things that just don't match up with reality as we know it. And it's not like just forgetting a small thing. It's like whole sets of experiences that feel totally real, but are provably wrong in this world. One of the clearest examples they gave was remembering a certain celebrity dying years ago. Not just a fuzzy memory or something they thought they heard. Nope, a crystal clear memory, maybe remembering the news about it, talking to friends, feeling sad or shocked when it supposedly happened. So imagine how they felt, how completely thrown off they were when they found out, for sure, that this celebrity was, and always had been, alive and well. These weren't just quick déjà vu moments or simple mix-ups. They said the memories were so clear, packed with details and real feelings, that they were totally convinced they weren't just misremembering. Instead, they started to feel like they'd somehow slipped into a different reality, a parallel universe where the history they remembered was the right one, and this world was the strange one. Just think about that for a second. If you can't trust your own memories, the very foundation of who you are and what you know about the past, then what's actually real? This person said they had lots of these moments, history playing out differently in their head, personal memories no one else shared, facts they'd learned that were suddenly wrong. Every time it happened, it would shake their confidence, making them feel lost, like a tourist in their own life. It's way more than just being forgetful. It's this huge clash between what you know deep down and what the world is telling you. It makes you ask some pretty big questions about memory, consciousness, and what it even means to exist. They were left with this creepy feeling that maybe their mind had jumped timelines, bringing along memories from a past that, in this reality, never actually happened. Section 6, Discussion, Reflection on Key Features. So, these three stories, the deadly fall that got reset, the dog stuck in a time loop, and those vivid memories of a different past, they're pretty good examples of what people mean by glitches in the Matrix. They all have a few things in common. They're super personal, told by the person it happened to, not just some old story everyone's heard. And the stuff they describe? Well, science can't really explain it right now. Things like the laws of physics seeming to break, time resetting, or reality shifting. Almost everyone who shares these kinds of experiences talks about how much it affected them emotionally. There's this lasting weird feeling, a lot of confusion, and sometimes even this deep fear that kicks in after something so unexplainable happens. That Reddit group, r/glitch in the Matrix, where a lot of these stories come from, even tries to make sure people are sharing what they believe are real experiences, not just making stuff up. Of course, it's good to be a little skeptical. Our brains are tricky things and can definitely misread things, or even invent memories. But it's really interesting how you see the same kinds of themes over and over, from tons of different people who don't even know each other. That feeling of reality flickering, time acting weird, or memories not matching up with what everyone else remembers. These ideas pop up constantly. We don't have scientific proof for any of this, sure, but with so many people talking about it, it feels like something is going on. These stories touch on that basic human fear that maybe the world isn't as stable or predictable as we like to think. They make us question what we take for granted and face the idea that there's stuff out there we just don't understand yet. And they grab us because they speak to that little worry we all have about how real actually is. So, the stories we talked about tonight, they're more than just creepy campfire tales. They're like little peeks into moments when that curtain of normal everyday life seems to get thin, showing something really strange underneath. That shower reset, the looping dog, the memories of a world that isn't this one. They definitely leave you with more questions than answers, don't they? They make you wonder if the reality we walk around in every day has some kind of code. And sometimes maybe that code glitches, showing us just how shaky, maybe even how unreal our world can be. What about you? Ever had a moment that made you seriously question what's real? A time loop, a dream that came true in a way that just shouldn't be possible, or a memory that nobody else has? Tell me about your own unexplained experiences in the comments. I really do read all of them. And hey, your story might even end up in a future video. If these stories about reality's weird little hiccups got you thinking, or maybe feeling a little bit uneasy, then definitely subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell. We're always looking into the unexplained, the mysterious, and the kind of stories that make you rethink everything. So when you switch off your screen tonight, and the shadows in your room start doing that thing they do, think about these stories. Remember that feeling of reality itself, just wobbling. Because if the world can unravel for a second, if life can hit reset, or get stuck on repeat, or give you memories of a life you didn't live, who's to say it won't happen again? Maybe the next glitch is lurking right around the corner, in the quiet of your own place, all set to mess with your sleep and make you doubt everything. Sweet dreams. If you